Long after the orange sphere in the middle of the field by the walnut tree happened, and I saw those alien beings appear before it, but when I yelled for my brother, it wasn't long after that. A couple of weeks passed, and I went to bed for the night, and I was having a hard time sleeping. I really was. I noticed the mark on my forehead that I have there. That's when that all showed up and was disturbing me. A lot of things were disturbing me, and basically. So all I remember is I used to fall asleep with the TV on. That's the only way I could fall asleep. I needed the noise from the television to keep my mind occupied so I could go to sleep. And then this is before sleep timers even exist on television. What I'd do if I woke up and needed to use a restroom or get a drink of water, I'd shut off the TV in the middle of the night and go back to sleep. So one night, Susie's asleep, and I'm just dozing off. Just get to that point, I'm dozing off. And all of a sudden the TV just goes bunk off. And it woke me up immediately because there wasn't sleep timers, right? And nobody shut that thing off. And Susie's still in bed. I thought, what's odd? So I open up my eyes. My TV's off. And, oh no. So I go over there and I get up out of bed and I go to check the switch, and the switch is pulled out. The knob is pulled out. And oh great, the TV's broken. And Susie says, it's not broken. Go back to bed. I said, no. So I looked behind the dresser to see if the cord was plugged in. It's still plugged in the wall. I said, there's something wrong with it. It won't go on. She says, would you look at the clock? The clock's out too. Everything's out. The power's out. I go, oh, great. I said, I'm going to go check and see if the breaker's working. She says, go to bed. She said, I'm going back to sleep. She says, go to bed.
I was sound asleep when I heard Michael, who was very upset, messing around with the television. When I woke up, he was absolutely distraught about the television being on to blink. I glanced over at the alarm clock to see what time it was, and noticing that the face of the clock was not lit. I told him there's nothing wrong with the TV, just that the power's out, and to go back to sleep. This was very shortly after his experienced contact, and at that point in my life I really didn't believe too much, in aliens or the entire phenomena. I was raised Catholic, I went to Catholic school, and also in my mind these things simply did not exist. Honestly, I didn't know what to think about any of it. Michael had previously told me about some things him and his brother saw in the mountains, and how he and another friend saw the same things that looked like moons, but frankly, it all bewildered me. I understood why he wanted the TV on, as it helped him fall asleep. However, there simply wasn't anything I could do about it, because the power was out. So I told him to make an attempt at going to sleep without the telly. He said no, and then headed out to the kitchen to check the power box. I closed my eyes, and with the quiet, I fell right back to sleep.
So I went out to the kitchen, and I look in the breaker box, and I notice all of our breakers are on. Okay, it's right next to the kitchen sink. All of our breakers are on. I look across the road, way down the road there, and I see all the lights on, outdoor lights, other people's places are on. And I figured, oh great, we got a power problem. And so I go back to bed. And I figured I'll just wait till morning. I have to deal with this in the morning, whatever's going on. And I had a hard time, but I start dozing off again. And right as I start dozing off, right as I'm just that comfortable state where you're just drifting off, all of a sudden I feel my body elevating, going lift it up, and just like it was before, going through the roof of the house, and then suddenly I appear in this room. And this time it's not white light, it's more of an orange light. It's a weird type of orange light, very soothing, comforting light, a lot more comfortable than the last white antiseptic light. And I'm like,
what just happened? Where am I?
Don't worry, you are with us, and you are safe from harm. So don't be frightened. We don't speak as you do, but communicate with our thoughts, and you will communicate with us using your thoughts also. We've been waiting a long time to have this communication with you.
What's going on? You've kidnapped me. Why are you doing this? You know, we have laws against kidnapping, then you come into my life and do exactly that. Who are you and what are you doing with me?
Please understand that we are not kidnappers, as you know us, and only wish you to understand our communications. We will return you where you came from when we are able.
I don't want to be here. Please, you're doing, you can just keep me out of. I don't want to be part of your agenda. You're destroying my life. You're turning it upside down, and I want you to stop. You've taken me repeatedly, and I demand you stop.
We need to communicate with you as we have very important things for you and your world to understand. Much of what we have to mention concerns you and your family, so please let us continue.
I really don't care what you have to communicate with me. Just leave me alone. Return me where you found me, then go away.
You are not ready yet, so we will send you back for now. Thank you and goodbye.
And also back down to my bed. And I'm going, oh my gosh. And Susie says, would you go to sleep? I said, she said, what is going on? I said, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I was roused out of sleep again by Michael yelling, "Oh my God, what the hell?" He was sitting up in bed, and I could tell he was scared out of his mind. I wanted to help, but I didn't know how. He was drenched in sweat and terrified of something, so I asked him what was going on. He told me he didn't know. At this point, I was becoming very worried about him, and all I could do was rub his back and try to comfort him. Something serious was going on, but I hadn't a clue what it was. I felt helpless and really didn't know how to help. I rubbed his back until he began calming down. Then after we talked a bit, I became even more confused by things he was telling me. He was talking about aliens taking him, and this is a field I knew nothing about. I was beginning to think maybe possibly something was taking him, but I wasn't prepared to deal with the subject. I laid awake until I was able to get him to sleep, and while he was drifting off, I came up with the idea of him seeking help from our pastor.
Went to work the following morning, really tired and stuff, and just Susie's bothered by all the things I've been going through. And basically, when I come home from work, she's out in the yard, she's waiting for me, and she says, hey, I have a favor to ask you. She says, I want you to go see someone about all these things that have been happening to you. I said, see who? About what? She says, the alien stuff that you're talking about. She says, I want you to go see Pastor Grant. I go, why? I said, what, has he been abducted by aliens? And she says, no, just talk to him, please, for me. And I said, well, fine. She says, I'm going to call my dad. She can watch our daughter, not a baby, our kid. She says, and let's go see him.